Hello there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today I'll be reacting to and analyzing The Rock of Lazarus by Asaf Avidan. And before we jump into the song, we're actually going to be hearing a 2.5 minute video on Asaf himself talking about the song Rock of Lazarus, which should give us some good context for his thought process going into this. As always with Asaf's songs, I'm super excited to check this out because every track I've reacted to on the channel thus far has blown me away, has emotionally gripped me, and forced me to think in ways that I didn't really do so before, and done so beautifully, by the way. I'm impressed, frankly speaking, with Asaf and everything I've heard, so I'm really excited to hear more from him today, and that is all thanks to Sam the Charming for making this donation request. And sorry Sam, I think the dedication there got cut off, so I'll read it on my other monitor. Sam dedicates this to Renat, Orly, and all Asaf Avidan fans in Israel. We are praying for your safety and return to peace. We love you and miss you. Please stay safe. Hold on everyone. Keep hope in your hearts. Remember HOPE. Hold on. Pain ends. That is a very cute acronym. I like that. Yeah, you know, we're living in very tumultuous times right now, which I suppose would be a valid statement said at any point in modern or even, I guess, historical history. But stay safe, love yourselves, love those around you, and, you know, hopefully we can get through these times. Anyways, let's jump into the song, or the interview first.
So Rock of Lazarus is me going to that place with metaphor and intellect and giving into the structure, imposing the structure on an existence of chaos. I mean, it refers to Lazarus was brought back to life by a miracle of Jesus Christ. And I'm not a religious man of any type. I'm not a spiritual man of any type. I'm a very scientific oriented, but I do like literature, and I do like how easy...
Sort of surprised to hear him say he's not a spiritual person, but that's all right.
Literature, and I do like how easy it is to take from this well of culture, and without needing to say he's revived, I can just say Lazarus, and most people will understand what I'm talking about. Or even if they don't, I like this thing that we have as a society, as a culture, as people, some joint stories.
Yeah. It's interesting with storytelling too. Sorry to pause it, but it's interesting with storytelling the way that so many separate cultures across time have arrived at similar stories. Sharing stories with your friends and family in the present is all well and good too, because it helps you communicate, it helps share some of the important underlying meaning. But when done historically, right, through time, passed down from your ancestors, there's a bit more weight to stories like that, because you can ask yourself the question, why do certain stories stand the test of time? Maybe there's modifications over time such that it applies to the current language or culture, right? It has to still make sense given what you know now, but why do they persist? Great stories with good meaning, they'll persist, and for good reason. Good.
Joint
good
stories. And so I took that idea of this heart brought back to life by this miracle, my rock of Lazarus, my dead stone heart being revived again to try again.
Yeah, because Lazarus, if I remember the figure, he was revived many days after perishing. So if he's referring to his heart as the rock of Lazarus, then seemingly his heart has... That's interesting. His heart has died and is being brought back to life. That is so romantic, actually.
Being revived again to try again. And I like the image of just this zombie heart, this, like, a heart that didn't want to be reborn.
Zombie
it was
heart.
tired and old and beaten and worn down to the place that it just looked like one of those creatures in the movies just dragging themselves mindlessly, doing things out of automation and not out of real want. And so that became the song. It has three parts. It has why the heart was dead, the resurrection of the chorus, which is like angelic voices, and then it has the zombie heart rising again.
Cry till you're dry and you die, and they'll drag you again into life.
This is the song, or at least part of it. That is a very, very interesting premise for the song. And I think what I'm understanding when he said imposing the structure is that he has this story that he wants to tell about the Rock of Lazarus. So he's going to tell the story using each section as a vehicle for, like the exposition, the rise, the fall, the climax, the epilogue. Rock of Lazarus and his like discussion of the zombie heart was so interesting to me. I feel like it would be so interesting to hear just Asaf talk in like a long form interview format. My problem would be I would want to like pause it every 10 seconds to like discuss one or two of the words he uses, because even the term zombie heart, it doesn't want to be revived. It's interesting because like a lot of people who have their heart broken, they still want love, they crave that connection, but he flips it. That is so interesting because now he's like, it's been beaten, broken down. It would rather stay dead in the zombified automaton state, but something is resuscitating it, almost like against its will. Super interesting. Let's check out the song. Oh, this is the same venue as 900 Days. Oh, yeah. Oh, he put some special magic in those fingers today. Oh. That chord.
The day's short, the night is long, your heart is ravenous. They say a heart that eats alone, it chokes, it's dangerous. But I've lost my appetite, it proved superfluous. My blood had bled the deepest red, and then it turned to rust.
Oh, wow.
Life is short and death is long.
Oh.
My thoughts are nebulous.
Oh, are you even noticing in the phrasing, he's like starting the phrase singing, and then he gives the punchline almost like in a spoken kind of like flippant manner. Really interesting, like the line ravenous, dangerous, superfluous, and then cuts it with rust again, but then nebulous, returning back to that AAAB rhyme scheme. What a format already. And I'm going to do a lyrical analysis on all of this, so I don't want to spend too much time now dissecting everything, but it seems like so far the setup is there is somebody else who likes him and is seeking love, but that love may be unrequited because his heart is zombified.
Life is short and death is long. My thoughts are nebulous.
Wow.
It seems I'm lost inside myself. Well, that makes two of us.
Wow.
I wish I had.
Dude, that is a bar. That is a bar. It seems like I'm lost inside myself. That makes two of us. You're lost in me because you love me, but, I'm lost in me because I don't understand what's going on inside myself. Oh, but it also, again, puts the perspective out there that he may not be in love with her in the same way.
I wish I had the words to say. The words are treacherous. My guts were spilled, my heart was still. but it was Lazarus.
Oh. Oh. Dude, I immediately love this song.
Rock of Lazarus.
Wake up, heart.
Wake and turn the heart.
Wow.
Beat with all the blood and
the cry.
from the start. From the start. Your dreams are big, your feet are small. The union perilous. You walk alone, I'm not your ride.
Oh, the grit.
Down to the precipice.
Dude, I love it so much. And this, losing my words here. I love the way he set up each line as like singing, punchline.
You walk alone, I'm not your ride. I'm to the precipice.
Precipice, that's a great word.
I'm occupied and finding shade. I'm not your therapist. My bloody blade just blow my head. It will be courteous.
Oh, wow.
My heart is small. Your eyes are big. Look how they stare at us.
Out of nowhere.
You're still a cub, but I'm old. I'm not anomalous. I will grow old and I'll grow marred, and I will turn to dust. But yet my heart beats like the stars. For it is Lazarus. Wake up, rock of Lazarus. Wake up, turn to heart. Beat with all the blood and blood from the start.
Wow, what a melody.
From the start.
And the vocal cry every time. Oh.
What hearts rise again.
Oh my, he's attacking the piano.
What hearts rise again. What hearts rise again. Cry till you dry and you die, but they'll drag you again into life. I should cry till you dry and you die, but they'll drag you again into life.
Oh my god.
Cry till you dry and you die, but they'll drag you again into life.
Wow.
Why don't you cry?
Wow. Cry till you dry. So let's say he experienced the heartbreak. It was horrific. It ripped his heart out, and you died. The heart died, and then they'll drag you again into the light. So they're taking that dead heart. It's no longer beating. It's zombified, and they're resuscitating it by bringing it back into the light of love. Dude, this song, the poetry here, genius.
But they'll drag you again into life. Why don't you cry?
Yeah, love it. Love everything about it. Melody, the piano, the lyrics, the poetry, the structure too. What a player too. Guitarist, keys, all expert.
And they drag you again into life.
Ain't no way. It's like a ragtime feel. It's so bouncy.
And they drag you again into life.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Drag you again into the light. Now, oh my god, the clap.
Cry till you dry and you die. They drag you again into life.
Oh my god. What a song. I mean, that's it may be too reductive to say that it's a song. That is a song. That is art. I love every piece of that. Let's pull up these lyrics here. I realized at the end I read a little bit ahead in the lyrics, and they'll drag you again into the light. We didn't have that context until that third section. So when he sings for the first time, drag you again into light, that's when everything brightens up, becomes bouncy, it's resuscitated, it's like jittery, it has new life. Because the song up until that point had been very, heavy, right? Beating slowly with gurgles and without wanting to be resuscitated. So it's like the song is holding back with its tempo because even the heart, even though it's dead, it's apprehensive to restart again. So it's imposing that condition on itself. But through the love of the stranger, they were powerful enough. That love they had for him was powerful enough that they resuscitated his heart, sort of like against his will, which I find interesting. So let's get the lyrics properly on the screen. That will do it. Okay. The day is short, the night is long, your heart is ravenous. They say a heart that eats alone, it chokes, it's dangerous. I mean, right away, your heart, not my heart, is ravenous. Your heart is hungry for love. We haven't spoken about my heart yet, but now I'm making the statement that if a heart eats alone, because ravenous refers to hunger, it's dangerous. You'll choke. You need to have somebody else to eat with. But I have lost my appetites, and then the focus shifts. I'm not hungry. I'm not in it for love. It proved superfluous, my appetite. Having it didn't really have any effect in my life. That was a positive one. So it's kind of like cannon fodder to my existence. It was superfluous. My blood, it bled the deepest red, and then it turned to rust. At first, I didn't understand what this meant as clearly as I do now. But given the trajectory of the story of the heart dying, then being dead, and then being revived, that is what's happening with the blood. Because the blood is, if you get cut, for example, then you had that perfect skin, and now it's opened and bleeding, and that's the process of dying. And then once it rusts over, it is then dead. I don't know what the process is called to de-rust something, but that would be the equivalent of bringing the rock of Lazarus out into the light. Life is short and death is long. My thoughts are nebulous. Wow. And because in the context of him not really believing in religion or spirituality, death will be longer because he will be dead for a longer period of time than he will be alive. My thoughts are nebulous. He's just all over the place, doesn't know what to think. It seems I'm lost inside myself. Well, that makes two of us. And I love the the way that these lyrics are so tightly knit. Nebulous, I'm lost inside myself. And we talked about, well, that makes two of us, but what a line right there. I wish I had the words to say, but words are treacherous. My guts were spilled, my heart was stilled, but it was Lazarus. Again, the last line here is, well, I guess I'd do the third and the fourth line. Words are treacherous, right? Words betray. Words, you say one thing, but you do another. But again, words are dangerous too. Because you say you love me, I say I love you, but really saying something is a whole lot different than doing something. And then my guts were spilled, the heartbreak happened, my heart was stilled, it died, and then it was Lazarus. And with the story of Lazarus, I think of Bethany, I believe, coming back to life. So that's like a bit of foreshadowing, all in that line. So it's part one, part two, part three, and now it makes sense again what he said about imposing the structure. Wake up, rock of Lazarus, wake and turn to heart, beat with all the blood and dirt from the start. I love that. Now it's finally like the time. Wake up, become alive, don't just stay as a rock, beat with all the blood and dirt. I also didn't understand this line as well as I do now from the start. The blood and the dirt is from the past trauma, the past failed relationship, the past heartbreak. That blood and dirt, they congeal, and sometimes you can clean off a little bit, but for the most part, there will be some residue in your heart throughout your life. And you will carry that from the moment you were born until, the moment you pass away. All of that dirt accumulates, and you can still do your level best to clean yourself over time, clean your heart, and have that purity. And people do, and it is happy and healthy, but you're going to be, dealing with things throughout your entire life, whether it's from a past relationship or a new one. So dirt is inevitable, and dirt from the past is also likely as well. So it's kind of par for the course, and he's now willing to accept that, with all the blood, with all the dirt, I will continue to love. Your dreams are big, your feet are small, the union perilous. You'll walk alone, I'm not your ride onto the precipice. You have big dreams for us, but I don't see it. You'll walk alone. I'm not going to bring you to this dream that you have. Maybe right to the edge, the precipice, but you may need to find somebody else because I'm occupied in finding shape. I'm not your therapist. I can't be there to coddle your heart when I can hardly figure out who I am right now. And that's honest. My blood has bled. Just blow my head. It will be courteous. Wow. I didn't even catch this line the first time. I'm heartbroken. Just end me. That would be a better solution than this. And it also is this like relationship dynamic where one person, they love harder than the other person's closed off. They may have like a kind of, I forget the attachment style, but more passive, and they're not one to like readily show love to the other partner. They'll be avoidant, I think is the term. But they want love. In this case, with the Rock of Lazarus, it seems like early Asaf, after the heartbreak, did not want love because his heart is now fully dead, and he's like actively thinking about not wanting love. But if you were to have wanted love, then I don't know. I think I just got lost in my thoughts there. If you do want love, then you will work through those like avoidant attachments or anxious attachment styles together. So it's almost like he's anti-relationship, anti-love at the beginning, at least. After all the heartbreak, he's jaded in that sense. I think that's the direction I wanted to go with that. My heart is small, your eyes are big, but look how they stare at us. You're still a cub, but I am old, I'm not anomalous. I need to look up this word. Deviating from what is standard, normal, or expected. Okay. So my heart is small, right? We already discussed the heart. Your eyes are big. You are very like excited about me and curious about this relationship, and you're hopeful. But I don't feel the same. You're still a cub. You're a baby. But I am old. I've dealt with all the heartbreaks. I am broken. I'm not the norm anymore. I will grow old, then I'll grow more, then I will turn to dust, but yet my heart beats like the start, for it is Lazarus. This is like the switch up. This tells us that there's still hope. Even though death is inevitable, we can still resuscitate this loving heart. And then the huge chorus comes twice. Beat with all the blood and dirt from the start. Wake up, rock of Lazarus, wake up, and he turned to heart, all of this, right? The way he sang it. And then we have howl, old hearts rise again. Oh, I guess he didn't sing howl, he howled. Old hearts rise again, old hearts rise again. Cry till you dry, and you'll die, and they'll drag you again into light. Again, the structure. I love now, having listened to his little interview, not really understanding everything he was talking about, and then hearing the song in its entirety, and then unpacking the lyrics. I think I've arrived at a pretty good understanding of everything in Rock of Lazarus. If I missed something, please let me know in the comments below. But I love the metaphor of the Rock of Lazarus, and sort of in my own passive musical writing, there's a song that I have, in the workshop, right? And that song is called Zombie. And the idea of that song, Zombie, is I felt numb inside for so long. I felt like I couldn't understand myself. My emotions are deadened, and it appears on the external as I'm a zombie, just going through the motions, being unable to feel. And when he mentioned Zombie Heart, it sort of reminded me of that song. In the version of Zombie that I have, I don't know if I have a like rise up again in an explicit way. I think I have like a hopeful chorus in the end, but I would have to look back now. But zombie as a term in music, I think, is honestly not used enough. In horror movies, zombies are used all the time, overused potentially, and different zombies have different characteristics and blah blah blah. But in music, I would like to hear more use of zombie as well, and it was cool to hear him bring that up in the context of Rock of Lazarus, and Lazarus, like, he's drawing from literature rather than religion per se, just for the completion of the metaphor. And that's why it is so amazing, even if you're religious, not religious, to read about stories and theology and learn about history and just be a very worldly person, because so many of the analogies and metaphors and nuggets of wisdom we can derive in life come from venues that we would never ourselves voluntarily go. It's sort of like a trial by fire, exposure therapy. Do something outside of the norm, be anomalous for a second, and maybe learn a little bit more about yourself and the world through that process. An amazing song. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to this one alongside me today. If you did and would like to request a reaction yourself, whether it's more Asaf or anybody else for that matter, you can do so by clicking the first link down below. But as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.